everyone, my name is Shubhani and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant and founder of Zest Immigration Services Incorporation. Today in this video, we are going to talk about Quebec. So how's life in Quebec, especially for international students and newcomers in terms of studying, finding a job, a rental apartment, buying a property and so on. Stay tuned. The decision to move to a new country, city, or town cannot be taken lightly. If you find yourself considering relocating to Quebec, there's a lot you should know about this place. For newcomers and international students, well, Quebec is among the top provinces in Canada, and like many provinces in Canada, it has a rich culture and excellent living conditions. The overall setting is urban, though there are also rural areas. Over 80% of the residents are French speakers, however, most people can also talk and understand English. Now, if you are thinking of shifting to Quebec, except to adjust some aspects of your lifestyle to fit your new surroundings, here are some of the pros and cons of living in Quebec. Let's start with the pros. Affordable electricity. Quebec offers the most affordable electricity compared to any province in Canada. The cost of residential electricity in Quebec is the lowest in Canada, and by some accounts, the lowest in all of North America. This low price holds steady whether you reside in Montreal, Quebec City, or any of the rural communities across the province. In terms of how the electricity is sourced in Quebec, the majority is generated with the hydroelectric dams. This qualifies the electricity used in Quebec to be labeled as coming from renewable sources. Next is affordable housing. The entire province of Quebec has affordable housing regardless of whether you live in a rural or urban area. You can find and rent an apartment in the heart of the city center for an average cost of $877. Across both city and rural environments, real estate and housing rental prices in Quebec are considered very low. Montreal, Quebec's largest city, has an average home price of 72% of the Canadian average. The differential in monthly rent is also comparative. Overall, Montreal is ranked as the fourth least expensive city out of 68 top cities in North America. Quebec City is ranked as the most affordable of the top 68 cities in the North America. In terms of housing alone, the average price of a family home in Quebec City is 55% of the average home price in Canada. Next is weather. With the vast majority of the population living in Quebec occupying an area with a humid continental climate, residents can enjoy 4 distinct seasons each year. The summers are comfortably warm without being excessively hot. The winters are harsher for those who are accustomed to more southerly climates. But for some, they bring scenic wonders of having the joys of snow during the holiday season. Metropolitan areas and the immediate suburbs are the ones that can be most inconvenienced by the heavy snowfalls. Next is natural beauty. Quebec's natural beauty makes it among the top tourist hotspots in Canada. There are plenty of picturesque landscapes, including lakes, mountains, and parks. There are about 24 national parks in Quebec, and almost all of those are extraordinarily beautiful. Here you can enjoy fun activities like camping, wildlife observation, and hiking. Next is several means of transport. Getting to the cities of Quebec is easy and fast depending on the means of transport you choose. The Metro Railway connects to many cities at affordable prices. There is a great road network with modern highways that connects different areas. Also, there are over 40 airports in Quebec, and you can fly anywhere with ease. Next is student-friendly. Well, if you're worried about your education in Quebec, then you do not have to. Education costs are cheaper here than literally any other province in Canada. You will also find students from all cultures in Quebec. Here is a list of some top leading universities in Quebec. Next is optimum location. Quebec is strategically located, making it affordable to visit other provinces within Canada. You can explore Canada by catching regular trains, buses, or flights at lower prices. Next is economy. The services and manufacturing sector dominates Quebec's economy, but many other resources also play significant roles. For example, Quebec has the largest freshwater source in the world. It harbors about 3% of the world's freshwater reserves. The economy is also supported by suitable fishing, natural resources, timber, tourism, and agriculture. Next is affordable insurance, and this is my favorite. Car insurance in Quebec is cheaper compared to other provinces within Canada. According to insurance reports, the average car insurance cost in Quebec is around $700 per year. In neighboring provinces like Ontario, car insurance averages from $1,500 per year, and people living in British Columbia pay up to $1,800 per year. So as you see, there are many advantages or pros of living in Quebec, but do not forget, every coin has two sides. So let's explore disadvantages and cons of living in Quebec. First is limited job opportunities. Quebec has a smaller job market and limited job opportunities than other major Canadian provinces and their major cities. The province's economy is primarily based on tourism, government, and small businesses, which kind of makes it difficult, especially for international students and newcomers, to find a job in their field of education. Well, the language barrier can also be a part of this, which brings me to my next con, language barrier. While Quebec is bilingual, French is the dominant language and many locals speak a little or almost no English. This can make it challenging for individuals who need to be fluent in French to communicate and integrate into the community. Next is harsh winters. One of the most significant drawbacks of living in Quebec is the harsh winters. The province is known for its long, cold winters with temperatures often dropping below freezing. Snow and ice can make it difficult to get around, and the lack of sunlight can be a challenge for some individuals. Next on the list is religion and limited diversity. Although there is the freedom to worship and there is no discrimination against people of other religions, Bill 21 prevents civil servants like teachers, police, judges, and other public servants from wearing religious symbols to work. Examples of those religious symbols are hijab and turbans. Another thing about this is that it's predominantly French-speaking province, and while it is becoming more diverse, it still has a relatively homogeneous population. This can be a drawback for individuals who value diversity and want to live in a multicultural environment. Next, and one of the biggest drawbacks or cons on the list is high income tax. Despite the affordable accommodation, the income tax you pay to the government is extremely high. The minimum combined federal and Quebec tax rate for people earning about $41,000 is 27.53%. It means the almost one-third of your paycheck is slashed towards government taxes. Next is high sales tax. Opening a business in Quebec can be costly. Similar to personal income tax, you'll also pay two sales taxes. First is the standard about 9% Quebec sales tax, and the second is 5% federal goods and service tax charge. These rates are among the highest in Canada since you pay a combined sales tax of about 14 to 15% for non-exempt goods. Next on the list is infrastructure. Well, Quebec is a modern and attractive province. However, some parts of the province have water systems that are over 100 years old. These are sometimes prone to recurrent leaks, which can be a little frustrating. Next is rising heating bills. While electricity is cheap, the expenses shoot up during the brutal winter because people use heating machines to keep warm. The alternative is to use gas furnaces, but they can also be expensive. Next on the list is strict measures to buy hard liquor. Well, this can definitely be a con for some of the people out there. Beer is readily available in Quebec stores, but getting hard liquor requires a lengthy process. To get hard liquor like wines and spirits, you must go to the Quebec Société des Alcools, means the Quebec Society of Alcohol, also known as SAQ. SAQ is a distribution network owned and operated by the Canadian government. It gives it a legal monopoly for the wines and spirit sales. Next con on the list is access to modern resources. Quebec has both rural and urban settlements. Access to amenities in the urban areas isn't a problem, but certain areas find it challenging to order and receive purchases. For instance, you can order goods online, but the delivery charge will be high because of the additional taxes and tariffs. Next is low disposable income. Quebec has among the lowest showing of salaries in Canada. It's a worrisome trend for middle-class families as they can only afford basic needs. After taxes and bills, there isn't much left to put in for health, retirement savings, or even for a vacation. Last con on our list here is food insecurity. Food insecurity is linked with income. If your household income declines, food insecurity is imminent. Also, food insecurity impacts negatively on the overall healthcare of Quebec residents. Conclusion: Quebec has many positive attributes, from inexpensive electricity to architecture, history, festivals, bilingualism, affordable cost of living to fabulous scenery. However, for some, the weather and language differences might take away from its luster. It comes down to what you qualify as being important to your lifestyle that determines whether or not the province of Quebec is a place that you could comfortably call home. So really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so that you get notified every single time I post a new video. And if you wish to talk about your immigration case or your Canadian immigration options, then feel free to contact us at www.zescanada.ca. Thank you for your time today.